It's DEW Time with Pastor Steph.
Good morning, and good morning. Rise and shine. You're on with this DEW Time with Pastor Steph. How are you this morning? That's what I like to hear. For this is the day the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. So, where were you yesterday? Yesterday was Let's Talk About It Tuesday Church Folk Day. And oh, wow, we got to talking about them church folk. Yes, we talked about a minister out in Florida who was kind of getting his married on a little too much. Yes, this pastor, minister, yeah, it does say pastor. Okay, I wasn't crazy. Leslie Williams, 62 years old, was on Facebook and promoting his brand new marriage. Yes, excited that he had gotten married, only for his friends to question, hey, I thought you were married. He says, I'm married now. I was married now. Yeah, well, unfortunately, after so many questions, he ended up taking the Facebook post down, only to find out that he was a bigamist. He had already been married. And that pulled him in on the radar. And the authorities then went after him. Yes. So he was officially arrested for bigamy. Yeah, that is illegal, by the way. Well, here's the thing. Not only was he married twice, but he is a minister who has some kind of book out about, getting married and your relationship, and he's counseling people, and he's known as an apologist and a teacher of the Word of God with relevant and timely messages for the body of Christ. That's what he claims in his book. And the other secret that's out is that he is known as being a member of the Village's home. Yes, there's a series of homes out in Florida where one of the largest retirement population actually lives, and they have been known to be swingers. They've been known to be public sexual encounter people. Yeah, remember like on Beauty and Black? Yeah, they were out of control. Well, so is this community, for what we understand. And they have unusually high rates of sexually transmitted diseases. Now, that has come up actually in recent articles and information that, nursing homes and retirement homes, literally, like people in nursing homes or people in assisted living homes, yes, it has come out that they have one of the largest population of sexually transmitted diseases. Now, here's the funny part. I guess at, some point or another, they decide, well, I'm going to do this thing and I'm about to be up out of here, and I might as well go ahead and live and not have protected sex. Listen, it just shows that no matter what you're doing or when you're doing it, at what age, you got to take care of yourself. Yeah, we can't be living this kind of life. What happened to with age comes wisdom? Boy, they're acting like they're about 5 years old. Well, you know what? Also, some people at that age, they really don't care. They really figure they're on their way out of here. I got to go somehow. I'm going to go someday. So I might as well go out with a bang. Well, I don't know what's going on. But here's the sad part about it is our God community is actually involved in this. Now, whether he's involved with being a swinger, whether he's transmitting sexually, or doing this sexual transmitted disease thing, it doesn't matter. Why? Because he has been snagged for to be a bigamist. So, either way, you twist it. And that's not the way the body of Christ needs to be represented. This is why people have no interest in coming to God. Here we are preaching, come to Jesus. He changes lives. And these lives are worse than the lives that are in the world. We are supposed to be in the world, but not of the world. So let's just check our behavior. Let's just check our habits. And let's check our surroundings. Can people say that we are the average of the people that we are around? And that average is this? If it is, you might want to get a moving card, because it just might be worth it. I don't know what it's going to take for us to get this thing together, that God is relying on us. Once we say we belong to him and we are in his kingdom, we are a part of his kingdom, then we have no business signing on for things like this. So that's how we spent our Wednesday, our Tuesday. I advise you to go back and listen, because that was some kind of conversation. Pastor Vinny and Pastor Brenda, they actually know about that community and gave us a little heads up as to what actually goes on over there. So it ain't just hearsay, in other words. Okay. Well, today is Wow Wednesday, and we got our girlfriend Vivian hanging out in the wings, waiting to do her socially conscious segment. So go ahead and get that healthy breakfast. Go ahead and tell somebody, anybody, everybody that it's due time with Pastor Steph is on. And whatever you do, don't go anywhere, because we will be right back.
Every strong woman is a story that gave her two choices: sink or swim. People see the strength now, the confidence, the boundaries, the wisdom, the way she carries herself, but they don't always see what built it: the heartbreak she survived, the disappointment she pushed through, the night she cried in private, the seasons she had to hold herself together with no one coming to save her. Strength rarely comes from easy chapters. It comes from moments that tried to break you, moments where she could have quit, could have become bitter, could have let pain define her, but she didn't. She learned how to keep going with tears in her eyes. She learned how to rebuild when life fell apart. She learned how to choose herself when others did not choose her. That's why she moves different now. She knows what it costs to lose yourself. She knows what it takes to rise again. So if you meet a strong woman, respect her. There is history behind that strength. There is pain behind that wisdom. There is survival behind that glow. She didn't become this version of herself by accident. She became her when life asked, sink or swim, and she chose to swim.
Good morning, and good morning again. Welcome back to It's Due Time with Pastor Steph, and it is Wow Wednesday, y'all. Yep, the day we get our socially conscious on with Vivian. Well, let's not waste any more time. Let's say good morning to Vivian. Good morning, Viv.
Good morning. Happy Wow Wednesday. How are you, Pastor Steph?
I am well, thank you, Vivian. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Good. What you got for us today?
All right, today on Socially Conscious, we are starting off in the schools, as parents in NYC are very upset about the new 2026 to 2027 school calendar. They're saying they are upset because the calendar is confusing and hard to manage. School starts later than usual next school year, which is messing up routines for families trying to plan work, childcare, and the end of summer. On top of that, there are more holidays and random days off, making the schedule feel all over the place. Even though the changes were meant to be more inclusive, parents say it's now too inconsistent and stressful to plan around. So I did a little bit of research to figure out what are they so upset about. So they're saying, let's compare this school year to next school year. So this school year, school started September 4th. Next school year, school will start September 10th. End of school this year is scheduled to be June 26th. End of school next year is scheduled to be June 28th. Not seeing that much of a difference there. So last year, they had more consistent, according to parents, more consistent days off. They have next year, according to parents, 14 choppy weeks, meaning throughout the week, we might have a day off here and there. No full weeks, not enough full weeks in the school year, according to them. We had 19 full no school days this year. Next year, they've added a couple more holidays, making it 22 full no school days next year. Same major breaks, plus a few additional single day holidays, and not a lot of half days. So, as a teacher, I'm not seeing a problem here. But parents are very upset, saying that next school year is going to be more difficult for them to plan their vacations and childcare when schools are out of service, so to speak. New York City's budget is next. They're saying Mayor Mom Donnie has the New York City budget in a limbo. He announced a delay as he waits for financial help. He is calling on Governor Kathy Hochul and state lawmakers to help him figure out New York City's budget. The city is dealing with a multi-billion-dollar budget gap, and officials say they don't know yet how much funding will come from the state, making it difficult to finalize plans. The mayor has originally been expected to release the budget by May 1st, but is now asking for more time while pushing Albany for additional aid. At the same time, state leaders are pressuring the city to cut spending. So it's just a mess, and we've talked about Mayor Mamdani and all his help he's giving to us, that a lot of people don't feel like it's help at all. And now we have him delaying the budget plan for New York City. They say the delay could have major implications since the city's final budget must be approved by June 30th before the new fiscal year begins. Until then, the situation remains uncertain, highlighting a growing financial tug of war between New York City and the state over who should cover this multi-billion-dollar budget gap. What a mess. Next, we have a woman or women out here breaking records. They're saying the new record is over 20 million single women in the United States now own homes, which is setting a new national record. According to U.S. Census and housing data, single women are buying and owning more homes than single men, and that number has been steadily increasing over the years. Now, they're saying the single woman category includes women who are divorced, widows, or have never been married, and this number reflects total homeowners, not just recent buyers. So while the headlines may sound surprising, it really highlights a growing pattern of more women owning property and establishing the financial stability across the country, which is very surprising because we talk often about these home prices going up and how everyone is struggling financially to just make ends meet. So it does sound surprising that single women are breaking records, but good on us, good on them. And now we have our wow story of the week, which is a Long Island woman, 39-year-old Christina Guzman, has been convicted after prosecutors say she threw a stick of dynamite at her boyfriend, 46-year-old Michael Williams, while he slept. Authorities say the incident happened following an argument. The exact details that they were arguing about has not been made public as of yet. I'm sure it is going to come out. Investigators say that Mr. Williams woke up to a hissing sound. When he found the dynamite, he tried to pick it up and throw the explosive out of the bedroom, but instead it detonated in his hand, causing devastating injuries and the loss of his hand and part of his arm. Prosecutors also revealed that Guzman has allegedly made prior threats involving dynamite, threats that the victim reportedly did not take seriously. And who would? This sounds like something from the cartoon. Where are we getting dynamite from? She now faces decades in prison following her conviction. Wow, what a mess. But this has been Vivian with Socially Conscious, giving you the news that we are following. And remember, if you have any wild stories you would like to submit, please feel free to direct message me on Facebook. My username there is Vivian BM, and come back every Wednesday to find out if your story has been chosen. Thank you, as always, to our loyal viewers and listeners, and thank you, Pastor Steph.
Girl, I don't think I've laughed at one of your stories in a while. You should have heard me over here laughing. Yo! Where you at for these conversations? Oh my goodness gracious. Well, maybe you could chime in via text or something like that. But thank you so much for your Socially Conscious segment and your contribution into today's episode. And we pray you have a blessed day.
Thank you. You as well. All right. Have a good one.
All right. Thank you. Woo! I mean, I laughed, y'all. I laughed. I'm sorry. I had to laugh. That was funny. That was funny. Well, what do we do on Wednesday? We reverse the process. So it is time for us to say good morning to all of our loyal viewers. And if you're in the room, make sure you let Pastor Steph know. Other than that, I don't know you're in the room. So let's say good morning to our girl, Ketty. Good morning, Ketty. Thank you so much for joining us today. What's up, Sarge? Thank you for joining us. And we pray you have a safe travel to work. Hey, King Terrence. How are you? Thank you so much for joining us. We got our lady Tamika on this side of the fence right now, but I am so happy to be able to chat with her about these stories this morning. So good morning. Ketty says, I love that PSA. We got to check in from Teresa. Hey, Teresa. Thank you so much for joining us. And we can't go any further without recognizing and saying good morning to the ladies that hold us down each and every day. Let's say good morning to our girl, Shantice. Good morning. And let's say good morning to our girl, Anika. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for joining us this morning. And Miss Grace, if you're out there, good morning. Hope you're doing well and stay warm. It might rain today, so you're going to need that little raincoat. But we pray you have a blessed day. All right. So let's get our ladies on so we can get to chatting. Let's talk to our lady Tamika. Good morning.
Good morning and a happy Wow Wednesday to you. How are you?
I am well, thank you. How are you?
I am good.
All right, good. Glad to know that. Well, Gay Shantice, let's say good morning to you.
Good morning, ladies. How are you?
Oh, well, thank you. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Good, good, good. Well, Vivian did give us something to talk about this morning as usual. Well, one of the things that she brought up, the first thing she brought up, I'm sure we've all had this conversation separate and apart from its due time, as well as we've kind of chatted about this. Schools in New York City, moms and dads are very upset because the new calendar that has been revealed is not conducive to really being able to lay out a vacation schedule properly, or helping parents get that schedule kind of balanced out. Well, they are walking in the new schedule from 26 to 27 is walking into more holidays and random days. There's going to be some changes. Well, one of the things, there will be school starts normally a little earlier, but next year it will start September 10th. It will also end a little later, June 28th, they claim. They have a lot more days choppy. There are 14 choppy weeks where you have, kind of intermittent school on, school off. They have 21 full no school days because they're adding in more holidays to be inclusive of all the different nationalities and religious schedules. And our parents are really finding it difficult because now they have to rearrange, let's say, daycare or babysitting schedules for those who need it. Should this, be something that they're complaining about? Or should it be something that they should just fall in line with, Lady Tamika?
Well, especially if you have, children that need to be taken care of, children that you can't leave at home, meaning of age where they can be left alone. That is a concern. You think about it, you're expecting your child to go to school for the week, and they have Thursday they're home. So you got all these days in school, and then that one day, Thursday, you got to go to school, and then Friday, they're back home. Stuff like that doesn't make sense, And each time that you alter the schedule, realize that these parents are used to, they know, without looking at a calendar for the most part, okay, these are the days that I can plan, and they're planning in advance, because some jobs you have to put your time in maybe like 6 months in advance. But when you alter the schedule like that without notice, it can affect them. And I think it's fair, not on their part, it's unfair for them, because now I have to change everything. And between the choppy days and, okay, they don't go to school now, they go to school later, and they're in school now they're out of school. That makes it complicated for the parents. You got to be fair.
All righty. Shantice, Tamika says it's not fair. What's going on?
I didn't really hear any discrepancy, like why there should be an uproar in regards to the 2 or 3 day difference, 4 day, 5 day difference in the start of the school year and the end of the school year. the choppy weeks, I see that being a bit tricky because not everyone has the type of job where they can make accommodations for their child every week because they're out of school or they have a half day. So I know someone who if they woke up tomorrow and said, oh, it's a half day or something, it wouldn't matter to her because she pretty much makes her own hours. And she has a good job. So it's like if she goes in later, then she just has to stay later. If she goes in early, then she can leave early. But it's not too much. And if she has to take her child to work with her, she takes her child to work with her. But how many people have that type of wiggle room, to be able to do that? So outside of that, I don't okay, so we're not starting on the 8th, we're starting on the 10th. Okay? Unless you plan on starting a new job on 8th. But if this is a job you already have from now, then you just know from now they're starting a little, a few days later, they're ending out of school a few days later, which should be helpful to you. That's less days. You got 2-3 less days you have to worry about them for the summertime. So, but the 21 days within the school year, I could see that being a bit tricky for some parents.
Okay. Viv says, I say hush up and take your kids. You have the schedule for the entire school year well in advance. Make it work. Serge says, especially if you're a city worker. Now, I don't know, Serge, which side of the fence you're on when you say especially if you're a city worker, whether you're going with the ladies or you're not.
I think that's against. I don't think city workers really have that wiggle room.
Okay. All right. Thanks for the clarification. So as a parent who had to raise kids who worked full time in school and out of school thing, like Shanti said, when school starts and when school ends, the 28th of June ending is not abnormal. I remember Tamasia graduating on the last day of school, and that was June 28th. So there were most school years where it ended like almost the last day of the month of June. So that's not abnormal. Starting on the 10th is a little abnormal only because normally what they do is they start you around the 5th and then you out the 7th and the 8th and then you back in. So that there is a little sketchy. What they seem to be doing now is pushing your start date so you're not out for those Jewish holidays intermittently. So that there seems like they're kind of balancing out. Now, the biggest thing as a parent, as a working parent, I do see is that you go to school Monday, Tuesday, you out Wednesday, out Thursday, you back in on Friday. That there is you're gonna have to do something better than that. Because especially like Lady Tamika said, parents with young children, that's not so easy, So sorry, Viv, hush and take your kids. That's a little bit deep for that portion of it. The other, I do agree with you where, for those of you who say, listen, they're doing it better because this school year has not finished. So next school year, as a working parent, you do have well enough time to lay out your school year and get your babysitting arrangements. Like I said, but the only sticky part is that intermittent, off and on during the school week. Either get it done, in the beginning and finish it off, or, start it and end it off. But, when you're talking about religious holidays, which is what they're adding in, they're not adding in just days off. They're adding in school religious holidays. And what's happening is, it's not just for the kids. You have to remember, some employees have to, they have their religious observance. So maybe what they could do is, listen, here's my thing. I don't see no heavy influx of, let's say, Muslim people working in the schools where you got to shut the whole school down.
That's what I was thinking.
Why don't you just see if you can leave? Look at the proportion of teachers in versus teachers out. And maybe they have, maybe I'm not coming up with, this crazy idea or this great idea, but maybe if you weighed it out a little differently, you could actually balance it out where the school is not officially closed. I don't think you need to close the whole school, system down. If the kid, they're going to be school where children are going to observe, they ain't going to be there. So that's less teachers you need anyway, because it's less school, school attendees. So I think maybe if that were done, then you could cater a little more to a consistent week. I don't know. Y'all could tell me, maybe I'm the one who's kind of crazy.
I was thinking the same thing, Pastor Steph. Like, why can't they just, if you're a teacher who is Muslim and now the Board of Ed wants to acknowledge this, then you just put in that I'm Muslim, so my name is on the roster that I will not be in attendance this day, that day. And like you said, now the entire school gets shut down. And those who are not Muslim are now possibly inconvenienced because you want to observe this to give them off. And it's more of the opposite than them.
Right. And it's not just Muslim. I'm not just I'm saying anything where you can balance out, this in and out of school. Because I'm sorry, as administrators, you really can't honestly say that this is not a convenience. You really can't say it, because the administrators got kids too.
Exactly.
Right. So you gotta admit that this is kind of, a little, this sketchy in and out during the week is a little more difficult. So on those, the extra time when you want to acknowledge the extra religious observances, then fine, do so. But maybe you can work it out a little differently. Not only that, but here's another thought. And y'all tell me if I'm crazy. What about vetting some of these parents? They ain't got nothing to do.
So you need to go and be with the kids.
Get them cleared in advance. You got enough time to do this thing. And didn't Vivian do something, ladies, where they said they were adding in more school aides and things like that, but you didn't have to have like previous experience and stuff like that? Didn't she she was the one who brought that? So then where are these people? Where are these people? Vet them early.
That sounds like a great idea, and it sounds great if they was to go through the PTA, because you're supposed to be able to recruit parents to participate in the PTA on a regular basis anyway, and that would be a good way to have them cleared, get them fingerprinted and all of that already, so that when they're already working with the school in that sense, because when you're PTA, you're already involved in certain activities with the students. You're already becoming a lot more familiar with the faculty and the staff. So just get fingerprinted at the same time. And now, if, like you said, if it's needed, then come on over and can you sit in on the second and the third, because it's whatever holiday. So these set of teachers will not be in attendance on that day. And we need, even if you're not officially teaching, but it's just like when you have a substitute, and now you plan whatever activities, or we'll give you whatever activities to do with the children, so on. Or Pastor Steph, that will be a great opportunity for those of us DOE vendors who want to do things with these children. Okay. That will be good for us to come in and now, Miss Smith, you get to now come in and have your service or whatever it is that you do with the students on the second and the third, because this amount of teachers won't be in attendance. So instead of us trying to rattle our brain as to, can we find a substitute? What are we going to do with these kids? Now it's pretty much the parents are sending the kids to a babysitter in a sense on that day, but still within the school. Like, why not do that?
Absolutely. And again, you got the whole school year. You got all this time. You could prepare for all of this. But again, in addition to that's actually a good idea. But in addition to that, again, you've got these people who you claim you were hiring anyway. You opened up the hire pool so that you could, get all those people in, and you said they didn't need experience. All they needed to do was be willing. So this is an opportunity. All right. Anika says, my concern is the number of days of school is less. Our children are behind in every metric, and all these extra days won't be good. I see the parents' issue with these days out. Teresa says they always start after Labor Day is the 8th this year. Okay. Serge says what they need to is observe is the Bible. You know what, Serge? You're right, Serge. I don't know if that would answer the school days in or out for us, but that's a good idea, Serge. The Muslims, Viv says the Muslims are coming in heavy. From my experience, it's like 2 extra holidays. Get to your jobs early and let them know. So, like I said, the amount of days have definitely increased over the years. We've been saying, well, where were these holidays when we were going to school? Because we went to school. We went to school. We didn't have all of these holidays. But you know what? Whether they plan for the intermittent days during the week or whether they plan for they have enough time to do it properly. You can't just put all the onus on the parents. I'm sorry. And you can't put all the onus on the school. I'm sorry. It has to be a balance of, listen, let me tell you something. And I'm going to be honest. And this is room to open up this conversation. We didn't see the effects of giving these kids too many days out. No. Look at what happened up in the mall. Why? Because there were days out of school. Number 2, some of these kids ain't got nothing to eat. They have brought this up 1,000,001 times. Number 3, these homes aren't safe for these children. So the more you leave them in the home, you add more days into the home, leave them to the parents. We've been reading about leaving them to the parents. So there has to be some balance here, because there's a lot of things going on. We can't, like I said, we can't just put it all on the school. We can't just put it all on the parents. It has to be some balance of days. We can't just start closing the school every 15 minutes either. Listen, let's be real. The world has to revolve around what's logical and what's quote unquote fair. So I think again, you have enough time to be able to execute everything where there's a balance for both the parents, balance for the school, and to get it done right, where nobody feels overwhelmed or stressed out. So let's plan properly. All right. The New York City budget. Well, unfortunately, Mayor Mamdani is under the radar and the gun again. It seems like he came in real. I don't remember any other mayor coming in and having so much difficulty. Everywhere you turn, he's under the gun. So now, there's this press because he took office in January. They know in advance that there are there are some needs regarding this budget attention, but he can't because they have not armed him with the ability to be able to do so. So now he's pressing the state. Now he's pressing, others to, hey, help me get this done. And, there's this huge $1 billion gap that has to be filled. And you wanted it. You got it. Shantice.
Does this budget include the 5 bodegas he's opening by what year was it supposed to be? 2029. 20. Yeah, I wonder if the budget includes that. I ain't trying to hear nothing about no money. They've been proving there's money. Y'all are choosing where you don't want to allocate the funds. There is money. So now everybody acting like New York City is so tight. Well, we only have $5 until 2027 comes in. Shut up. Put all of these inappropriate, unnecessary plans to the side, and you'll have the funds to do what's needed. Every time we turn around, it's a story like this that pops up. Oh, we don't have the funds for this. We're trying to figure out how we're going to pay for that. And then we get a story about $30 million being put in the green room. We're going to have to figure something out. We're going to have to figure something out. There's so many other things. If the budget was really all that tight and it really was any money, again, there's so many different things that could be implemented to raise funds. No, I don't. It's like, what do they do all day, every day? They got these conference rooms and these big old round tables. What gets spoken about? Like, what hits the floor? I would love to sit in a room and just listen to the logic, listen to the numbers that are thrown out, I sat with the Lord yesterday and went over my personal budget. And after getting on my knees literally and crying for about 5 minutes, I then prayed to God over a financial plan. And within 30 minutes alone, I was able to sit with God and come up with a plan and ask God to correct or confirm this plan. God, you lead this plan. God, you do this. And this was just me, little old me. I'm no accountant. I actually come to math. I'm a horrible. But again, when you lay everything out and you ask for the clarity to help it make sense, how is it that there's a boardroom, multiple people sitting in here who are supposed to be competent, you the number guy, you the budget guy, you the accountant, you the assistant to the accountant, you the banker, but yet nobody knows where $5 is. It is just like so concerning to me. It's so I don't know what's happening, but I feel like within like the next day or two, we're going to hear about millions of dollars being put into something that is so unnecessary. They almost didn't have Bronx Week, and now something else going to come up. I don't know.
All righty. Lady Tamika, what say you about this mayor and him not being able to, answer or work out a budget plan because he doesn't have the numbers in time in order to get this job done?
I think a lot of things play a role in assisting him having difficulty. First of all, he's brand new, and we have seen already some things that he did. And you said you ever seen somebody do something that just didn't make sense? And you said did you think about that before you did it? Like, why did you do that? That's number one. So he's new, and you think about, every mayor that we've had, they bump, they do things and then, I can't do it. I can't. That's one. Number two, we're looking at all the finances that we had in tourism. That's another one that is decreasing. We also are looking at, the residents, those that, this is the funny thing, the residents that have lived here the majority of their life, who you've agitated because you don't care about us. You've made it clear when you went into office, you don't care about us, because you weren't addressing, you come to this country, you were not born here, granted, you've been here, 9 years or so, but you don't know it like a native. So, and your whole speech had something to do with everybody else, and I have yet to see, even in my own neighborhood, I see these things pop up and I'm going, well, that wasn't here. Who is that catering to? Oh, not me again. What is that?
Oh, wow.
Oh, that's not catering to me either, and so you're showing us in many different ways. And now you're asking for money to do such and such. Why am I not surprised? Especially in addition, you're doing things like, let's put grass over here. And I understand because New York can get extremely hot. If you've ever been to another state during the spring and summer months, you have trees. And so with the decrease of trees, the sun is literally sitting on your forehead. We don't have the benefit of, my own block only has one tree and it's to the left of me. If I stand to the left, I'm cool. If I stand to the right, I'm burning up. So, all of those things, every time that the resources are placed somewhere else, with all that I've mentioned, this is what we get.
Yep. So I thought about what you said, Lady Tamika, what Vivian said. 2 separate times she's brought tourism has decreased, which took a lot of money out of the city's pocket. She then told us within the last couple of weeks that the numbers have decreased because the residents have decreased and they have relocated. Y'all weren't anticipating all of this. So you laid out a budget with all of these things in mind, and yet, like, Lady Tamika said, she sees things popping up and they ain't got nothing to do with her necessarily. And this is one of the reasons why people are relocating. So all of these things play a factor. I also thought about the fact, like you said, Lady Tamika, that you're new. So see, when you do all of this campaigning and you talk about, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that and I'm going to change this and I'm going to change that. And then when you actually get in the chair, you realize that you're powerless, because this is what happens. You all this, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. And then when you get in the chair, they don't put the stuff in your pocket, in your hand that you need to do all of this and do all of that. Yeah, so now things shift and now you look like you coming up short. The other thing I thought about is you took on somebody else's job.
Yeah.
And we all have gone to a job where we have taken on somebody else's job and it was a mess when we got there. And before you can do your new job, you got to clean up somebody else's old job. So see, all of this stuff actually plays a part in you being able to do your job. So now here you are, January, you took the seat. You only had 5 months until there was a budget put in your hand, and you don't have the budget. You don't have the numbers. You don't have a clue. And now you're reaching out to the state to help you. And if the state really don't like you, the state ain't gonna help you. So now you got a whole different monkey on your back that you've got to worry about. So you know what? When y'all campaigning, you asked for it, you got it. You went into office talking about how Adams didn't do this, how Adams didn't do that, how Cuomo couldn't do this, and how Sliwa couldn't do this. Well, now shut up. Shut up and stop.
You can't even get them to hand you the numbers in time.
This is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. You didn't set up in there. You didn't smash everybody else about how they coming up short and how they can't do it and how you gonna get up in there and make a difference, and you can't even get them to give you a piece of paper with $5 on it. You're not asking for the money, you just asking for the numbers. They won't even cooperate.
But that's their job.
And Hochul has been in that seat long enough to be able to arm you properly.
She has.
So who are your friends? Be careful.
That's because his real motive was to hook his people up. So I could easily see him. Yeah, I could easily see him going in where he was supposed to be doing, like, paying attention to certain things from the very beginning, and you weren't, because your whole thing was, how am I going to help this group? How am I going to prevent this for this group? How am I going to get this for this group? And now that you have to do things for the city, now I was like, oh, I need numbers right now. And even though you should be able to get it right now, because again, there's a number person, so that's all they do is just sit and stare at numbers all day, every day. So if it's 7:55 and then at 7:55 and 30 seconds, I say, yo, I need that right now at 7:55 and 31 seconds, you should just be able to send it to me. But if your priorities were in line the way they were supposed to be from the beginning, then you wouldn't have to worry about this. How is it that you plan on opening 5 unnecessary bodegas, but you don't have numbers? So you didn't write it down and make it plain. So what plan were you coming up with? You taking this out your pocket? Where were the funds to open up these 5 bodegas?
Right. How could you project anything if you didn't have numbers in front of you?
How we hearing about this? But now we hear you can't have a regular budget meeting. But your 5 bodega plan that made the news. But you can't have a regular budget meeting. That is so concerning.
Again, I think this is the braggadocious response. You bragged and now they bragging. Who's really in control? And I would want this job. You couldn't pay me to have. That's why I say you asked for it. You got it. But it's I don't know. It's this. The campaigning is always troubling to me because it's one thing to have confidence, but here's the thing that I think has been proven over and over and over again. Regardless of your intent, what you're actually able to do when you get up in there is something completely different. And that has been shown over and over again. Only Trump has been able to get up in there and just do whatever he wants to do. Right. He ain't worried about no approval. He ain't worried about whether you are okay with or not, whether it's Democrats or Republican. He just does what he wants to do. The average politician does not do that. So that's why you're campaigning. You've got to have a level of humility. And that's what they don't have. They all go in smashing. And I remember when they were in the debate, one of the things, I don't know if y'all remember me saying this when we talked about the debate, one of the things that just irritated me was the smashing of everybody else.
Yes, that no one was answering questions because everyone was so busy antagonizing their opponent. And it was like, well, will you answer the question?
Yes, and belittling everyone else.
Yes.
Well, when he was in office, that's what he did. And when he was in office, shut up and focus on your job, the job that you want. And I said that. I said that several times. And this is why I say, shut up. Just be humble. If these are your intentions and they were asking you your intentions in education, then answer your intention on education. When you're talking about tourism, answer your question on tourism. But the first thing everybody does is, unlike Mary when she was sitting in the seat,
right?
She blew up the Empire State Building. Shut up and focus on what you. And this is why he walked in. Every time we turn around, this is actually worse than when Adams took the seat. I don't know if y'all remember.
Yeah, Adams didn't come in this slow.
No,
Adams got slow as the years went on.
Come in with this much difficulty either.
Yeah.
And is this here? This ain't good. This ain't good. I'm not interested in what your shortcomings are in regards to someone else not helping you. Because from what you displayed, you were going to be Superman. So shut up and make it happen.
And I think what they don't realize is when you make a move in any one of those positions, this is, you got to get in bed with people. I was done when we clearly saw it when Adams got in bed with Trump. I was like, oh boy. And I mean, there's a lot of alliances that you benefit of something else, and I don't think he's seeing that, from the time that he delayed the snow day, we already knew. We was like, oh boy, you just got in and watch what happens now.
Yep.
You
couldn't even determine. That's right.
You had one job.
Be on the safe side. And you know what? I have to apologize. I actually overlooked 2 comments, and it kind of so we can go back here. I will go back here. now, because that's actually part of the comments, Tamika. Viv says, no, it's the same number of days. They removed a lot of half days and training days to make room to reach the mandated school quote unquote hours. Okay. And Anika says, and these are more days, not counting weather conditions. Absolutely. So, like you said, Lady Tamika, there were times when he just needed to decide whether school was going to stay open or stay closed. He couldn't even do that.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, my hope was gone with that one. I wasn't voting for you. I didn't vote for you in the first place. And then you couldn't even decide whether school was going to be closed. And what ended up happening? School needed to be closed. So it's like, yo, really? So,
and you waited to the 12th hour to make that decision. I got kids. You can't just do that with me. Tell me now, or, don't wait till the last minute. Now I got to go try and find somebody to take care of my children. Not fair.
Yeah, right. When you knew the snow was coming.
You knew
the snow was coming. Serge says, oh, and we got to check in from Pastor KL. Hey, Pastor KL. Good morning. Serge says, New York is becoming a home for immigrants who have money. Yeah. It's been a home for immigrants who have money. But now it's really revealing itself. It's really revealing itself. And I'm going to be honest. You know why? Because they hook one another up. Again, they don't mind. You know why they got money? Let me tell you why they got money. Because they don't mind living 25 in a house. And then they're going to build here. And when they build here, they're going to move, 19 of them out that house. And they all going to go live in that house. And then they're going to build. And then 14 of them are going to move out of that house. That's why they got money. And that's why we ain't got none. Because we can't figure out
my 25 cents is mine.
Right. We can't figure out anything. Mm-hmm. So instead of building and help one another build, they're willing to help one another build. They're willing to pool their resources. I can put a brick in the ground. You can put a window in. You can pull a wall up. Now we all build a house. Not the rest of us.
We're not doing that. We don't like us.
No. Because first of all, let's be honest. First of all, how many times have I paid you to do a job and you didn't show back up the next day?
Or you showed up with alcohol on your breath.
Or you showed up late. You showed up late. See, they don't do that. If they got alcohol in their breath, they working. I'm sorry. Because I didn't hide some of them who had alcohol in their breath. But they built my yard. You understand what I'm saying to you? Mm-hmm. When we do it, we can't drink and work. Not that we should be, but y'all get my point. Mm-hmm. They're gonna get the job done. It's us who can't get this job done. So this is why we will always be poor together. All right. So all righty.
Poor together.
All right. Speaking of which, now I don't know about you ladies, but I brought up I thought of some things when Vivian was giving this next story. Women breaking records. She says over 20 million single women in this nation now own homes.
Amen.
They have broken new national records, buying and owning homes more instead of men. This includes women who are divorced, women who are widowed, and women who have never been married. Lady Tamika, what you thinking? Because a couple of thoughts came through my mind when Vivian was giving this particular story.
Woo! These women have had their life. They recognize, or they've been involved. Either you lived your life and now your husband is gone, or you've been in a relationship and you realize, oh, this ain't gonna work. So you just decide to pull your resources together, deal with your hurt, your wound, and I'm gonna move. I'm without you. I'm gonna go handle my business, and it's just gonna be me and my children, whatever the circumstance is, and I think it's beautiful, and I've seen areas where women are helping women, honey, you're gonna have to get off of that situation, get up, pull yourself by your bootstraps, and make it happen. Because we see in situations, how many different broadcasts have we seen where like the situation with the guy sitting on the couch with the dog, like no, but I'm not going to take care of you and this big, and this right 6 kids and this big behind dog. That dog, it's not like you got a chihuahua, you got something, one of them big huge things. You just
Anaconda.
So women have had it. They're tired. They're frustrated. You know what? Let me try and figure it out. Let me, and we are those type of women. You don't have a whole lot of women that, from the cradle to the grave are waiting for a man to do it, because we realize that a lot of times they ain't got themselves together. How you gonna help me and you living with your mama, or you jump from your mama to moving in with me? Not gonna work.
All righty. All right, Shantice, women are making it happen. I'm waiting to hear this little thing here. I didn't hear from Tamika, so that she didn't get that thought out, maybe in her head, but didn't get it out. I want to know if you're going to hit this nail that I'm thinking about.
I wish I had my tambourine. This is what happens when we rise as. This is what happens when we rise as a gender and leave these broke, slow, I don't want to learn how to read, I don't want to get a job, men alone. Okay? You figure out what your issues are, you work on what you need to work on so that you can set yourself up. It's not all that surprising to me. I didn't think that, they would, like we would have been the ones leading in, home ownership on that level. But I'm not really surprised. My mind just went to, I'm seeing, even with myself, a lot of times, I don't know why for a lot of women it's like this, especially a lot of women on our side of the fence. It's just this help mentality, and we ain't helping nobody. We ain't helping them. They helping us fall backwards. And now I'm seeing a lot more women like kind of waking up, like, what was I doing? Even if it's not related to me, it's just like, what was I doing? Oh no, it's time to get up. It's time to do this. It's time to fix this credit. It's time to learn about credit. Even if I'm not a scholar at it, how can I fix my credit? I don't need to get to a level where I can start now counseling others. But how can I fix mine? Okay, because I want to be able to say, especially if this is what you have for me, Lord, I want to be able to say I was able to fix my finances, get my home, and live comfortably, not sweating on how I'm gonna pay the mortgage, not praying that a doorknob don't come off because I can't afford a new one, all that, but be able to live comfortably. And I see that unless you as a woman prioritize what God has for you and stop helping these people who really don't want to be helped, you're not going to make the list of the 20 million women who are now homeowners. So that's immediately where my mind went to. But I'm just like, round of applause for the women, for the gender, because we're really showing that when we get out of that, I'm gonna help him mentality, that no, you ain't moving it. No, it takes a lot to own a home. Okay, we talk about renting a home, about owning a home. That takes a lot. So that's immediately where my mind went.
Okay. All right. So you didn't say it either. So here's what my head went. My head went to 20 million women throughout this nation. Mm-hmm. And a man gonna tell me what I can do. Mm-hmm. A man gonna tell me I can't be a pastor. A man gonna tell me I can't be a bishop. A man gonna tell me that I can't run a home. A man can't tell me that I can do this. Mm-hmm. A man can't tell me I can do that. Mm-hmm. But 20 million women are owning homes. Mm-hmm. There is a lot.
You got two right here.
one who's learned how to run and still learning how to run a home.
I'm sorry. You have lost your ability to say anything to me. Women can't be president. Women can't. Women can't. You have lost all your ability to say anything. Mm-hmm. I recently had a conversation where someone said to me, a woman should not be a bishop. And I said, don't talk to me. Don't talk to me. Now, when I said don't talk to me, it wasn't because I'm striving to be a bishop. Because I don't want to be no bishop. But I got 55% of the men telling me I can't be a pastor. I got 20% telling me I can't be a bishop. I got 30% telling me I can't be a president. I got the other percent telling me I can't. Don't tell me about what I cannot do.
But they can't work their way out of a paper bag.
Don't tell me what I cannot. What God wants me to do, I am going to do. And this is proof that we are doing the thing.
Mm-hmm.
Now, here's the thing. Without men, the statistics show without divorced women, single women, and widowed women, women are doing it. Now, that's why I wasn't trying to hear it. Don't tell me women can't. Don't talk to me about gender, anything, because my jails are filled with men. This homosexuality is primarily men. The low down living men. So if I don't count nothing but those three, if I let's eliminate the homosexuality, the general homosexuality. Let's leave that one out. Let's talk about the men who are in prison and the men who are low down. The ones who are hiding. Let's talk about just those two. That's why you can't get nothing done. You can't get nothing done from a jail cell, and you can't get nothing done hiding. Now, does this mean that women are perfect? Absolutely not, because boy, I can lay out 900 things that we need to work on. And we talk about it here. One thing here, we ain't gender biased. Everybody just as guilty. We just got finished talking about Layla, Kayla, Bayla, Mayla, Shayla, Shaniqua, Cassandra, Shalom. Right. We didn't talk about all. So listen, we're not gender biased here. But this here is why I don't want to hear women can't. Because when you start saying that women can't, this is what's going to show you that women can. And I think what's happening is, whether you're coming from a biblical angle, whether you're coming from someone who's just gender biased, in all honesty, for me, I can't speak for you two, and we could have this conversation because we got some time. It all gels for me. Am I making any sense? Everything just kind of gels. When you say women can't, I don't hear nothing else. Because I just watched a whole entire nation go into the toilet because y'all didn't want a woman in office.
2 times.
Not because she wasn't capable of doing the job. Not even because she was necessarily black. Because you did the same thing to Hillary back in the day. This is why we are now in Trump world. Because nobody voted. We had even our own men, our own black men. Women can't. We don't want women. And that's why we in the toilet right now. Because y'all would rather see a man who, whether he was eligible, worthy, capable, y'all just gave him the ticket because you didn't want to see a woman. A woman can't. Now, can I be honest? That woman couldn't have done no worse than what we're living in right now. Please tell me 5 things she could have done worse than what we have suffered through since January of 25. Couldn't have done no worse. So now we've got the proof that women can. Now, does it mean that a woman can be a bishop because women own the home? No. But I'm saying for Stephanie, no, just shut up. Just shut up. Shut up. Shut up. I paid a price to be a pastor because I didn't want to. So I'm not waiting to hear some outside source tell me, because again, if I was still listening to a man, I wouldn't be the pastor.
Right.
We've even had people get right here. I'm sitting here just ministering, and we've had people come right on here and talk about how I shouldn't be women, pastors shouldn't be women. All I'm doing is ministering. I'm not acting in a pastoral role right now. But all you looking at is a title. The bottom line is what I'm saying accurate to biblical standards. Because I wasn't on here preaching about whether women should be a pastor or not. I was just giving and ministering the word of God with a due time crew, with a group of other people. But all I got was a woman should be pastor. That's all you came up in the room saying. So now that women have shown that they are doing the thing without a man, then let's just celebrate.
I'm even more impressed with, okay, so we understand that, if your spouse passed away as a woman, that's one thing. We also understand that if you divorce, that's something else. But we're also talking about single women. So we're talking about someone who's never been married. Oh, that's beautiful. Like she just said, okay, you know what? I'm not going to be a statistic. I'm going to get up on my, I'm going to get up on whatever it is that I got, me and whatever, whether I have children or not, because they didn't specify that, which tells me that you've got them both, women that with children that have never been married, and women without children that have never been married, that are getting up and doing the thing.
Well, here's what makes sense. Wait, hold on. Before you go, Shanti. Well, here's what makes sense, Tamika. Women really don't need a home if they ain't got kids.
Right.
There are some women who will go get a home because they want a home. But most times, a woman ain't gonna get a home unless she got a kid. Go ahead, Shanti.
Well, the kids are the men. So I ain't got no kids. A lot of times that's what it equates to. And again, especially in this generation, especially as millennials, I'm watching, like you said, Pastor Steph, all this dominance. And yet at the same time, I'm so puzzled because again, I'm like, but you ain't never played with puzzles. Because how you don't know how to put this piece with this piece, but yet you sitting here trying to dominate something. You're so busy trying to say how things should go that you're not paying attention to the work you need to do. How you can now move into being an asset and not a liability. Because we all start off as liabilities. Because we're all born as a baby. Someone has to care for you. When you learn to then step out of that and now become an asset, that's a big thing. And now women are not with waiting anymore. They're not with waiting for, and then again, so let's even talk about the regular circle of life that the world tries to condition and beat into our heads, right? So if I'm following the world's system and formula for life, I'm supposed to go to school, I'm supposed to graduate, go to college, get a degree, get married, get a career. I'm supposed to run the home. You're supposed to bring in the money. Bringing in the money is the easy part. I can go and punch a clock. But now I'm supposed to structure the funds, allocate the funds. This is why the city's funds is messed up. I'm vicious man. Allocate the funds, make the funds stretch, make sure that the money goes between the mandated bills, the luxuries like food, clothes for the kids, extracurricular activities for the kids. Then you want to go out with the boys. your boys got money, but you don't. But now I got to figure out what kitty I'm going to go into so that you can go to happy hour. But ain't nobody happy during this hour because we ain't got no money. But you want to sit up at happy hours. So now I got to figure out how to pay the Con Ed and the gas after the mortgage. God forbid the doorknob come off. Then we got to go to Home Depot. You know, it's like the woman is supposed to do all of this. But you feel like the man because you're bringing home the money. And now us women are sitting here like, well, wait a minute. I can go get the money too. So now I'm making the money and with the skills of already knowing how to structure and all that. Because I've had men say to me, like, yeah, I need a woman because I need somebody to help me structure. I need somebody to help me, you know, keep my finances in order. And it doesn't mean that they're not men who can do that. Because I've been in a relationship where the man was a little more disciplined with the finances than I was. But at the same time, that main structure for the most part, the woman does that. So now women are like, I ain't waiting for you no more. I'm not waiting. And see what the men are not realizing is once you see a woman who done did this on her own, on her own, what you think you about to go do? See how this woman sitting here holding these keys? You think it's gonna be easy for you to get a copy of those keys? I think not. No, because she didn't realize that all the dominance that you're trying to put over her head as far as you being the breadwinner, she's able to be that too. So no. No, you're not.
You know, again, I agree 100% with you ladies. And I think that, you know, let's talk about the stuff that Vivian has brought to the table. She's brought to the table how childcare has exceeded tuition. Being able to go back and forth to work. She's talked about the fact that, you know, the food and, you know, a home is like washed out with bills and taking care of the kids, you know, is something that requires work. Think about all the things she's talked about over the past couple of years in regards to the home. And to think that most homes are single family homes with one parent, with the woman being the one who's, you know, still in the home. We do know a lot more men have stepped up and they have their children, and, you know, kudos to them, you know, for doing so. But the majority are still single parent homes, which the mom is the one. And to think that God has allowed you to raise above all of those things to actually be able to own your home, you know, that's a lot to really be happy about and to celebrate, because the odds are against us. Plain as simple as that. You know, the odds are against us when a man walks off and says, well, I'm taking the coat and I'm taking the couch and I'm taking the window. You know, how many of them have pulled that garbage?
Not the window.
Right.
You know, they leaving about, they separating, and now they're going to take everything they brought with them. You know, that trifling kind of stuff. You know, forget about remember there was an Instagram post where the guy was in the refrigerator.
When he took his mayonnaise back?
He was in the refrigerator and she was filming him saying, yo, really? You gonna take the food out the refrigerator and we still got kids in the house? And he was like, yeah, because you know what? You put me out, so you don't need this.
That's because he needed that.
What?
That's what that was. He said, you put me out, I'm gonna need this for the next 2 weeks.
Right. You know, why was she putting you out? Hey, Brian. Thank you
or
so
the guy
much
who
for
took
joining
the
us.
stove, who disassembled the stove and left the gas on.
You know, this is the kind of stuff that you deal with. You know, so, and like I said, I'm not saying women are perfect, because when we get a chance to smash the women,
I was about to say, we gonna break your stuff. We not gonna take it. I know someone who, and we're gonna leave it there so you can see we broken. We ain't clean nothing up. I know a couple who moved into a condo. They weren't in this condo for 6 months. They got into some nasty debacle. And next time I went over there, I see the flat screens on the floor wrapped up. I said, y'all moving? He said, oh no. Because I didn't know anything about the argument or anything prior to me going back over there. He said, oh no, we got into it, so he's moving out. I said, the TVs are moving out too? So yeah, he took the TVs off the wall and wrapped them up. I said, oh, so he put you on punishment. So now you watch no TV. Because not only, but he's not here, but he left the flat screens as a memorabilia. Because wherever he's at, he got a TV wherever he is. He ain't move out and he ain't got nothing to watch. But now you're in here watching, looking at the flat screens on the floor, wrapped up. And wherever he chilling at, he got TV. He has entertainment. You're in here, and that's like before we really started using our phones for like, that was way before streaming became like, you know, the thing. We still had DVD players and stuff. So what, and I'm just like, well, this feels a little depressing. All right, so what time we leaving for the club? Because now we ain't got nothing. We ain't getting dressed to Martin on or nothing. No, we can't stay up in here. No. We can't pregame up in here and it's just quiet. So yeah, men get that petty. They will get that. They will take whatever they feel. They Uno cards. They taking everything. Whatever they feel they brought up in there, they're taking. And a lot of times it's because now I need this to survive. A lot of times it ain't because they don't want you to have it. We'll take it because we don't want you to have it. We'll break it because we don't want you to have it. But when they take it, most of the time it's because they know that they're going to need that in order to sustain themselves wherever they're going.
Well, here's the interesting part. He must have really been quite trusting, because a whole lot of Shaniquas when he came back, it would have been glass.
Oh, because she wasn't about that life. Yeah,
I just said that.
No, I'm agreeing with you. I said, yeah, she wasn't about that.
He was very trusting, because he knew he didn't have no Shanae up in there, because he wouldn't have been able to leave that there and come back and find anything.
I would have just had the wrappers left on the floor.
This is what I'm saying. Then she would have sold the TV, gave the TV away. Because see, now you left her in the apartment. So technically, it's her stuff. Mm-hmm. It ain't community property no more because you left. So that's what I'm saying. You know, you got to be smart about what you're doing. So he knew he didn't have that Shanae that would have trashed and crashed all of that stuff. And now he's coming back to nothing. So you know what? This is the life we live. And you know what? Again, kudos to all the women who have fought against the odds, giving God thanks for all of the women who have been able to just rise above all of the things that are working against us. You know, because let's talk about, quickly before we close this and go to our wow story. Look at how the women are fighting in the workforce.
Yes.
To be even paid the same thing a man is being paid. That is still, after all of this time, that is still a fight where the wage industry has not balanced itself out, where a woman who is doing the same job is paid the same thing. Mm-hmm. So no matter where she goes, she's fighting a fight that she's got to, just come through. So to even, again, another, a nail that is, put into the wall against her. That's another thing. I can't even go to work and get what I deserve, no matter how hard I work. Exactly. Brian says, well, that would never happen to me and Shantice. We would pray about it to God and get back on track. Nope, she won't ever know nothing about being a single parent respectfully.
Well, I don't know what God you're talking about, Brian, because you put a lowercase G God. You better
listen, you know what? So Brian is saying he's an honorable man. Thank you, Brian, for just letting us know that you're not a lowlife. At least not right now. Because nobody's
they all small, respectful,
right? So thank you for just
who keeps the mayonnaise,
right? It's thank you for establishing the fact that that you're a respectful young man. Thank you. We appreciate that for real. All right, let's talk about Lady Dynamite. Remember Tamika Grandma Dynamite?
Wasn't on the 70s show?
Remember that from the Flintstones? Grandma Dynamite? Tamika, you don't remember that? Oh my gosh. Where's Pastor KL? He would remember that. So we've got 39-year-old Long Island woman who's being convicted of throwing a stick of dynamite at her boyfriend while he was sleeping after an argument. Now, Mr. Williams woke up to a hissing sound, tried to pick up the stick of dynamite and throw it, but it ended up detonating in his hand, blowing off his hand and his arm. And now she's facing serious charges and decades, possibly, of prison time. Now, here's the thing. She warned him about the dynamite possibility, but he didn't believe her. And yeah, Brian. See, you come in on the last piece, Brian. Yeah, after an argument. No, but don't we talk about this all the time, ladies?
Yeah.
You gonna argue with me and go to sleep? Well, Shantice, you got first dibs on this one.
You know, I don't want to sound like I'm, like congratulating. Well, we're some creative creatures here. I'm not praising this. Disclaimer, I am not praising this. I'm just analyzing the situation.
Oh my God.
Be creative. Because where did you go and get dynamite? You came to the other boroughs and went into my alleyway and bought that dynamite. The alleyway where they're playing dominoes in the garage, and you found out next to the bootlegger, there's somebody who sells dynamite. And you said, you know what? And let me tell you, she didn't buy it for that particular argument. She bought it for a prior one and said, but you know what? I'm going to reserve this. She didn't just buy that dynamite.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
That dynamite been sitting there for a while.
Yeah.
And it came out for a time such as this. Because she warned you. That's when she bought it. When she warned you. She warned you.
Oh, my God.
And said, do it again. Threaten me again. Say it again. Act slow again. Quit that job again. Whatever you did again. Whatever you did again. Before you had a chance to do it again, you were warned. And let me tell you something about people. I don't put nothing past nobody.
No.
If you say, shut up before I trip you down the steps, you will never walk behind me down a pair of steps. Ever. I get one step.
Right.
No, you will never. People out here have shown how many news stories, how many shade room posts are we gonna have to see before we think we can underestimate people's stress. I don't put nothing past anybody. I remember going to sleep around someone and woke up and they was just staring at me. Check this out. You don't go to sleep before me anymore. Okay, and it's only by the grace of God that we can both blink at the same time, because people are just unhinged and people don't give their thoughts over to the Lord. I keep telling y'all, that's the only thing that separates us. That's the 30 degrees of separation right there. It's whether or not you say, Jesus, take this desire one to go buy that dynamite away from me, please. I hand it over to you in the name of Jesus. That's the only difference, because we done all thought of something worse than the dynamite. See, this was light compared to some of the thoughts I done had. Okay, so I'm serious. Dynamite was a light side. Okay, so if we're going to be honest, both of y'all was just unhinged, because she said she was going to do something like anything, not even if she didn't say the dynamite in particular, but she said the dynamite and you said, silly you, and went to sleep, and you woke up to some hissing and was flabbergasted, and instead of you jumping up, you thought you had to. Now you don't know how long it was hissing. You were asleep. It could have been hissing for 5 minutes. You woke up at 5 minutes and 20 seconds, and you thought you was gonna pick this up and throw it where? Where were y'all living? Throw it out the window? And unfortunately, I can't even imagine this going off in your hand. Oh my gosh. So this we gotta stop being so creative. Use our creativity for Jesus, because when we don't, we use it on this side. And now everybody life is just shot now. Now he the fugitive, and now you in jail for the rest of your life, possibly.
Yeah, because this is multiple charges. Yeah. Kenny says, yes, I remember Lady Dynamite, Grandma Dynamite from the Flintstones. Yes, Shantice. And Brian says, oh no, that's mad weird. Waking up to someone watching you sleep. Lady Tamika.
So I'm trying to remember.
Dynamite.
That Lady Dynamite, wasn't she the one that had that little funny laugh? And then she would throw it, right? Is that her?
That was Grandma Dynamite, yes.
Yeah, I do remember her now. But first of all, you got in a relationship with a lady whose last name is Guzman.
Oh.
That's the first thing. I keep talking about names, just the last name in itself. We just finished talking about the TV he's laying in the floor. Again, she's not Sharonica, Sharon Deal, who will take a baby's pamper and put it in your face. She is, because we're looking at the TV, it would have been crumbles by the time you got there. No part. Because every day I would have walked by and hit it again. So by the time you got there, like you said, it wouldn't have been nothing but glass. I have seen situations where, we've seen stabbings in the sleep, but like this lady, she had to have been somewhere near Mr. Shamar Elkins, because who comes up with dynamite? Like, I know what I'm going, not a machete, not a gun, not even, I know a female who glued her ex's legs together while he was sleeping. These are the things that we do. I know a female who Cloroxed all of her man's his undergarments in the drawer. So she poured it in the top, and so the things that were white, they were fine, and then they went down into the second drawer because she poured the whole bottle. So he goes into the first drawer to go pull something out. And by the time he got to it, it had dry rotted. So then he's like, okay, well, I'll go commando. No, because you go into the second drawer and everything's all tie-dye type of thing. So these are the things that we do. We really gonna get even. And she told, I done took and told you what I'm gonna do. So you go to sleep and, again, Shantice, we don't know how long he was sleeping. You probably woke up, you hearing that? You like looking around. If you got that steam heat, you're not paying attention, because your radiator, if you got one of those radiators, it makes that sound. But can you imagine getting up? You getting up and you like, what? Oh my God. And you have nothing. This is gone. Like, I just, my heart goes out to him, because now you're gonna remember me for the rest of your life. When you start walking around like this instead of like this, you're gonna remember what I told you, and you're gonna remember what I did. You never gonna forget me.
Not the gluing of the legs.
I glued them together. He woke up. He was like, "Can you imagine trying to? I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna really get you. This is stuff we do."
What's her name? Because she done topped me. I thought I done came up with some stuff. Oh my Lord!
Now I can't tell that.
I want her Instagram.
Oh my God!
That done top anything I done never thought about. Oh,
this is why 20 million women own homes without the man.
Because she needs to save herself. If I made a home investment, I can't afford losing this over gluing your legs together. So I need something that's going to help me remember to stay in line. In
Oh
addition
my
to Jesus.
No, the reason
What?
why I said that is because only women can simultaneously get this stuff done. See, if a man did that, he couldn't do nothing else. All his creativity would be gone into into snatching out the stove and taking the gas line and wrapping it in a blanket. This is the kind. These are our plans. Stuff that just have no longevity. Stuff that's disastrous. First of all, let me say this to both of you ladies and for those of you in Due Time World. If I took the time to go get some dynamite, you done did some things.
Yes.
Yes.
You done did some things. You didn't make me mad enough to go through your phone. You didn't make me mad enough to smash your TV. You didn't make me mad enough, to throw your food across the table. You didn't make me mad enough that I wouldn't cook for you for the next 2 months. No, you did something.
Yes.
You did some things. Now, again, like Shantice, I'm not advocating, because like I always tell y'all, just because I don't agree does not mean I don't understand.
Right.
I get it. Now, I'm not saying go buy the dynamite, but I get it. Only men can make you this mad.
Ooh.
I'm sorry. Only men can just, and here's the thing. Here's why I say you did some things. You were warned.
Yeah. Yeah.
So let's think about this thing, ladies. This is a build-up. What's a build-up? See, you did this and this, and I've responded like this. You've done this and this, and I've responded like that. But everything you do instead of me leaving, because we talked about this a couple of days ago, is know when to leave the toxic relationship.
Yeah.
Instead of you leaving when you see the signs that he doesn't respect you, that he doesn't value you. Remember, we went through all of that stuff. Instead of leaving, you stay thinking that your staying is going to change things. No, your staying is only going to aggravate what you're thinking. It's only going to push you to carry out those wildest thoughts. And those wildest thoughts came to, you know what? I just happened to read an article the other day about somebody getting caught over in the Bronx on 161st Street and on College Avenue for dynamite. I got you.
Wow.
I got you.
I'm saying that was on
Don't do it no
reserve.
more. Don't do it no more. Don't do it no more, because I got some dynamite for you. And we talked about this all the time. You thought you were going to do your damage and go to sleep. We did the story about the woman who he was sitting there reading the book with the grandson. And she came and what did she do? Throw something on him or shoot him? She did something and went and laid down. She didn't went and did what she did and went to sleep. And it said that she had been drinking at the time, and no, that was because he did some things while they were drinking, and he thought he was going to sit and parlay with the grandson. She did shoot him. She shot him because it said she shot him right in front of the grandson.
Yeah,
in front of the grandson. That charge right in as well. So no. He did some things. It wasn't no one thing. This was an accumulation of things that she was really just fed up, and instead of leaving, this is what she did. Child.
How you sleep like that? Like, I wouldn't. If we're to that degree, you gonna sleep in heavenly peace? Yeah, you are. You are.
Yeah. Because she gonna see that you make it into heaven. Yeah. But again, this is the brazen behavior that happens. Men do what they do, and you think you got it like that. He told her in the video said, I got 6 kids. I got no money for that. And thought you was going to sit on the couch with your dog and parlay. Thought you was going to get in that bed and go to sleep. After telling me, I'm up here struggling paying these bills, but because you got 6 kids on the outside, but see, you were the dumb one because he had 6 kids on the outside. So how much was he going to be able to contribute to your household and your kid when he got 6 outside and a dog in your house?
He ain't the kid.
Yeah. Ladies, it's been great. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your contribution into this conversation today. And we pray you have a blessed day.
Have a
You
blessed
too.
day.
Thank you.
Thank you. Child. Woo. We always end up with a woo here on His Due Time. It's always a woo. Because I tell you, you can't get no better stories than the ones we pull up. It's like they're all held in a secret vault as to why you need Jesus. Because that's what it all boils down to. You know, we talked about, let me pull up our little stories here. We talked about, you know, the parents who are struggling to, you know, get with the school year and make it happen. Because guess what? The school year has already been set. They're not modifying it right now for you. So you're going to need the Lord to help you balance out all of that. And when I see, you know, people think that I'm saying that like making a joke, I'm not. Because you're going to need God in order to just all of a sudden somebody to have a day off. You know what I'm saying? And slide right in and say, oh, I'll take the kids. You know, I was going to sightsee anyway. I'll take the kids with me. Or somebody who says, you know what, I got the day off. You know what, bring them over here. You understand what I'm saying to you? We need God to step in. And that's the kind of God we serve. That's a God that just steps in when you need Him to step in. This budget issue we're talking about, you know, listen, you took on a job that you challenged everybody else to get. You belittled everybody else around you to have. And now you didn't put your foot and your mouth out there. And now you got to try to make it work. Well, only Jesus is going to help you make this work. Because see, now you got to show up. Can't show up by yourself. You can't show up by yourself. Because see, you ain't never going to be able to handle this thing by yourself. You got billions of dollars that you got to pull together. Because guess what? You've just inherited. They're just handing you a budget with $1 billion that you got to pull together. Only God can work them numbers, baby. Only God can work them numbers. Because see, we serve a God that whether your deficit is $100, $15, or billions, He's got the plan. He's going to make it happen. We talked about, what else is here? Women breaking records. Women breaking records. They are able to do far more abundant than anyone ever anticipated, believe you can, or want to see. I talked about the fact that, you know, someone told me a woman can't. I don't care whether it came from the Bible or not. I just, no man said, well, here's what the thing was. And that's why I said it had nothing to do with it, Bishop. Hey, I don't want to hear nothing about what a woman can't. Because see, I was told that I was fearfully and wonderfully made. And if men were doing their job, women wouldn't have to do the things that we are forced to do. And when I'm hearing this from a man, oh, you didn't already got silenced. I don't want to hear nothing about what a woman can't do. Because if y'all were to step up and do better, and it may not be you per se, it may not be you might be a great man. We have our men on this due time. The one thing I love about these men, they have no problem telling you about their former life. But they are here with former lives to tell you how great God can make you. I love every one of the men on Due Time Crew because they are men who are holding it down. They are men who are good husbands. They are men who are good fathers. Not because they started out that way, but because they gave their lives to the Lord and God has molded and crafted them. So I'm not saying it's necessarily the man, you as a man, but just men in general, just your counterparts have crushed what we have tried to do and have made our determination. You've been pushed as a woman into a level of determination where you're not trying to hear what a woman can't do. Plain and simple as that. And see, here's the problem. Because I know my proper place. You understand what I'm saying? So although I brought up the issue of a man told me I can't be a bishop and he brought me biblical foundation as a man can be, there are other things that are in my ear. There are other things in my daughter's ears. There are other things in my counterpart's ears where a man is telling her she can't do. And now here's the problem. You've silenced that. So even if a man were telling you, now your level of determination is soaring now. And unfortunately, because of what has happened, women are trying to do things that they shouldn't try to do. All because they've been told that they can't do, and because they've been suppressed. And there is, a determination to keep them from being able to do it. So now you got some women in an opposite direction. So like I said, I'm not out here trying, because that's what I ended up saying. Listen, I ain't trying to be no bishop, so it don't matter to me right now, whether I'm just going to try to go biblical. But I'm sitting in a world where I'm watching my sisters struggle because because they didn't put their faith in God, and they put their faith in a man and a man's word and the promises of a man and the dream of having that family and that partner that's going to do what he said he was going to do, are now stuck in a cycle. They are now in a deficit right now. Now, will they emerge? Absolutely, they can emerge, because we're looking at 20 million who have. So I hope you are finding my context in which I'm speaking properly, that I'm not just ranting or raving, but I'm actually making sense. Now we move on to Lady Dynamite, who again, you didn't push and pushed and pushed and pushed that she warned you. Pay attention. It said she warned him. That meant that something happened that she didn't like, that was unjust. And again, go back. This is why we discuss things here on this Due Time. Because on Monday, we just got finished talking about at what point, ladies, do we just pack it up? Whether we pack it up mentally, emotionally, physically, literally, when do we pack it up and say, you know what, before I go down this road, before I let you mess me up mentally, before I let you mess me up emotionally, before I let you get me to a certain point, because a lot of these things, we talk about it all the time here, the flags are there, the red flags are there. You didn't already seen here about nothing. But we hoping and praying that if we, just stick it out, he'll change. And for some men, it has happened, but it may not happen for you. And if you were to be in tune with God and give your life to the Lord, then there would be some level of discernment as to when to pack it up. And we talked about Shamar Elkins along with Christina Snow and Shaniqua Pugh, the two women who were shot in the face before this one man killed all their children. So neither woman was left with any children. He wiped out the whole entire line. Now, not that she can't go have more children, but that line is gone, because those were the children that he made. Because somehow or another, he was mentally unstable and you stayed with him. You did not pack up when it was time to pack up. Then you could have possibly been a part of that toxicity. Because we talked about the mentality of women like that. You know, I got one up on you. Yeah, you may have his ring, but I got his baby. And you may have his baby, but I got the ring. And women can be extremely silly, petty, toxic. So we're talking about the toxicity of life. How are we climbing out of this mindset? How are we climbing out of this lifestyle where we are giving our lives to God, where He can make the difference, where He will make the difference? Because see, those of us who have given our lives to God, we got a form of life. There are things that we sit back and we say, did I really do that? I could tell you, I'm one. I said, oh Lord, Stephanie, did you jack that up? But had you answered God's call earlier, you wouldn't have been there to make that mistake. Your mind, your head space would have been different, where you wouldn't have made the same decisions. So this is why, and I keep telling our young people, this is why God is grabbing you as young as possible. Because I keep saying to them, you don't want to look like them, do you? You don't want to look like us, do you? I wish God had snatched me. Because I'm going to be honest, the introduction was there. But the level of appeal now, the level of God like grabbing now is different than when it was back then, when I was their age. And because the time is shorter, because God is moving differently than He moved then, because we don't have that kind of time now. He's snatching up the young people now. He's making sure the young people are wise enough to know. But the enemy is moving in strong. And I will never forget, God gives me messages to give to people. And I don't have that message of prosperity. God said, your bank account going to have $500 in it tomorrow. You're going to get that car in a week. Those are never my messages. My messages are always messages of, listen, you need to fix that because God says this is coming down the pipeline, or something is coming down the pipeline and God needs you to move in this direction or step into that position or stop doing this or move here, move there, or pay attention to what you've done. It's destroying you. Step out because it's going to really destroy you. I always have that word. And I never forget one time I went to God and I was like, okay, wait. Every time I turn around, you're giving me messages of urgency. You move. You got to move now. You got to move now. You got to move now. Do it now. Why? The Lord said, because the enemy is snatching up His people in droves. I will never forget this word as long as I live. And I could hear the urgency in God's voice. He said, because the enemy is snatching up His people in droves, and I've got to get to my people first. Because if I leave them long enough, they will become His and they will be destroyed. He said the enemy is snatching up His people in droves. Can I tell you that was about 2009, 2010. Here we are at 2026. Look at the droves of people who are going down at one time. Last week, 1 week, we had a story. 8 children. Nobody as old as 15 years old. 8 children, 1 adult. We had the other story of the girl who was raped. And we had the story of Jaden Pierre, where they were bullying him, they were beating him up, and then one guy came and just shot him. So that's 4 lives that they are now after, because Jaden's life is gone physically. The shooter, his life is gone pretty much for the rest of his life, because they're going to give him life. And the 2 who were beating him up are going to have to serve time. So here, how many do we count in 1 week? And that's all. 3 news stories. We're not counting the rapist who they caught in the store in the gas station, because the gas station attendant stepped in. 1 week, 3 stories. And God said to me, the enemy is snatching up his people in droves. Why? Because his time is shorter and shorter and shorter as the days go on. And he has one goal: to kill, steal, and destroy. Let's go back to last week's 3 stories. Did he not kill, steal, and destroy? He killed numerous people. Numerous people. Kill, destroy. Did he not destroy lives? He destroyed lives of the parents of Jaden Pierre, the parents of the shooter of Jaden Pierre, the parents of the 2 people who were pummeling that boy. He destroyed the life of the raped girl. He destroyed the life of the 2 women who are now shot in the face. One still got a bullet lodged in the face, and both of the women don't have any of their children. Destroyed, kill, steal. Didn't he steal lives? Didn't he steal joy? In 1 week, 3 stories. That's all we did. That's all this broadcast covered. We're not covering all the news stories. I'm sorry, that was in 1 day. Forget about 1 week. That was in 1 day. 1 day, those were my stories in 1 day. The enemy killed, stole, and destroyed in 1 day's broadcast. And that was only 3 stories. Multiple. We didn't even have 1 tragedy per story. We had multiple. Per story, there were multiple lives destroyed. Pay attention. The Lord said that the enemy is snatching up his people in droves. And I've got to get to my people first. Who are you? Which side of the fence are you on? Are you on God's side, where he's trying to get to his people first? Or are you on the enemy's side, where he's going to snatch up his people in droves? Every day you listen to It's Due Time with Pastor Steph, there's a decision you have to make. I don't even care if you've given God your life. Shantice always says it's just God who keeps us on the side of not being the one with the dynamite. And that's dynamite figuratively or literally. Because our actions are dynamite. Our actions are explosive. Our words are explosive. Our thoughts are explosive. Pay attention, because this is real. This is real. And you have to make that decision each and every day when you get up. God, I give you my life all over again. I cannot assume that my life yesterday, the life that I gave you yesterday, is still intact today. Because I still have to operate in my own flesh. I still have to operate in my own spirit. So I have to every day defer, and every multiple times during the day, I've got to defer to your spirit. Now, if I haven't given you my life, I don't have your spirit inside of me. Because that's the GPS of life. That's the GPS that we need to live by. What decision are you making again today? Or what decision are you making at all today? Are you going to continue to throw caution to the wind? You going to continue to roll the dice? It's on you. I've decided to make Jesus my choice again. You've been watching It's Due Time with Pastor Steph. Join us Monday through Friday from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. where we discuss matters of the heart, mind, and spirit. As you go through your day, be sure to set your mind on things that are above not on things that are on the earth. They will only serve as a distraction. Remember, prayer changes things. It's Pastor Steph signing off, and I want to thank my Due Time crew for always coming through big time. Thank you for hanging out with us and helping us do what we do. Thank you for keeping that chat room alive. Please do not miss the opportunity to give Christ your life right now. Please do not miss the opportunity to just tighten that relationship up with the Lord right now, because later is not promised to any of us. Until tomorrow, God spares. Don't forget, we're on tomorrow night with My Two Cents. Come on with Shantice and Brother Ainsley, that Brooklyn guy, and myself as we review Mayor of Kingstown, Season 2, Episode 7, 8, 9, and 10. Let's see whether we should kick it or click it or kick it. All right. Until then, God spares. I love you.